Hey, we're back. Session 2, 3-ball walk.
Yep.
This week's show. A lot of teams making a move. The Yankees still have a 3-game lead in the wild card.
Mm-hmm. Who's the second wild card team?
The second wild card team is the Twins,
Minnesota
making their
Twins.
move. You play games like they had earlier this week, and you find your way.
Well, yeah, I mean, as they said last night on Baseball's Watching, Tim Kirchin said they hit 7 home runs in 7 innings, something that's never been done before in the history of baseball.
16 to, and you can say, well, the ball was flying out.
They had a home run in every inning in the first 7 innings. I wonder what happened in the 8th and 9th. They just shut it down. They were horrible. In those two.
The
relievers came in and shoved it.
So the ball was flying out of the park?
I guess, but if you get beat 16-2, it's not.
No, 16-0.
16-0.
16-0. It didn't fly out for the other team.
Yeah. That's usually what people say when their pitching's not very good. The ball was flying out of the ballpark tonight. Well, yeah, when you're throwing them right down the middle with no movement, yeah, they'll fly right out of the ballpark.
No, that's amazing. That really is.
Just think about that. You can't do that if playing a simulated game throwing BP.
Right. Softball games don't always have that. I mean, that's insane.
It is, and the ball is flying out of the yard.
More home runs this year than ever before.
More 20 home run hitters. There were more 20 home run hitters through August 1st than there were all of last season put together.
There have been more home runs this year than any other year in baseball.
And yet it's pitcher-dominant league.
That's what they say. It's pitcher and home run dominant. They showed one last night. A guy batting
why is that?
Well, they showed last night a guy.
Power.
They showed a guy batting last night for the A's when I was watching the A's game. I don't know why I was watching the A's game, but it was on, so I was watching it. And they showed him. He's hitting 240. Okay, but he's got 32 home runs.
Was it Chris Davis?
Yes,
Chris Davis.
32 home runs, 240.
240.
That's happened
Dave
before.
Kingman.
Right, but he's one of their offensive stars.
Right. Well, you hit 32 home runs.
Right, but you're hitting 240. But there was a time in the league where if you hit 240, it didn't matter how many home runs you sent. You might be sitting back on the AAA because
it's power. It's
power
pitching.
Power at pitching,
and all you've got to do,
runs.
and you know that,
short and sweet to the ball,
and you make contact, and the ball goes.
If you barrel it up, it will go.
Well,
the problem is barreling it up.
You see Zunino's home run last night?
Yes, 470. He hit a bomb.
I got to get my electricity back on.
What?
I got my electricity back on. It's like
Zunino's hot.
He's been hot since he came back from the minors. I mean,
so whenever you get that guys throwing it that hard, and they were talking about Big Papi last night about trying. It was Boston and the A's, and they were trying to. They were like, why didn't he go? Why didn't general manager Dombrowski go and try to re-sign Papi for one more year? And they were saying, well, it's because Big Papi had told us last year. He said, I don't want to play no more. He said, everybody come out of there, throw 95, 96, 97, 100 mile an hour from the 5th inning on. He said, I don't want to face that anymore. He said, you can't hit that. He said, you can't hit that on a regular basis. You get lucky you hit one, but you can't hit that.
And it is, and that's what, and that's really what it is. And you got those young guys that are just sitting there, just making contact.
Short to the ball, hard of the ball, short of the swing.
And we started talking Rhys Hoskins.
Yeah.
Okay. 17 home runs, 33 major league games. No one has ever hit more than 12 in their first 33 games. That's not breaking a record. That's absolutely
smashing it. Yeah, it is. And again, it will depend on what happens next year. Sure, he's coming up now, but
that's all it is. Short, compact swings, power being generated by the pitcher.
Yeah.
You make contact, the ball goes out of the yard.
If you can barrel it, it'll go.
And you talk about Big Papi, so you got the young guys. Yeah. Right now, in the top 5 home run hitters in Major League Baseball, 3 and the leader of 3 of the 5 are in their first or second Major League season.
That's crazy.
You got Aaron Judge. You got Bellinger,
right?
And you got Joey Gallo of the Rangers, who had 132 at-bats going into this season, number 5 in Major League Baseball. So that's where the power is generated. It doesn't take a lot of, as you say, it doesn't take a whole lot of hitting knowledge to be able to put the bat on the ball every now and then.
If you're going to be judged on just home runs, you're just going to go up there and you can strike out with reckless abandon. If you're a big, strong guy like Aaron Judge, Yeah, you're gonna hit a bunch of home runs.
You know, and that's what it's becoming. Reese Hoskins, look at him. He's not on that list. The only reason he's got 33 games into his major league career.
That's it.
33, 17 home runs, which is 5 more than anybody else in the history of Major League Baseball has hit in their first 33 games. That's not breaking a record. That's shattering it.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
that's-
they'd be pretty close to top 25 of all players with 17 for the whole year. Again, but I don't know how much he struck out or how much he's whatever he's doing. But you're playing the Phillies, and the Phillies are kind of out of it. So it's like, yeah, we're going to go, and we're going to pitch, and we're going to play, we're going to try to win, but.
He's done it against the Marlins, who were in the they were on our list until they ran into Reese Hoskins.
Yeah, and the walk-offs that you mentioned, they're kind of out of it now, And again, that'll be the wonder of whether or not the supposedly record that Bob wants to give to Giancarlo Stanton if he breaks 61, which will not be the record, but Bob wants to because he thinks that if you hit them during the steroid era, they don't count. Like the home runs didn't count, and the money from the checks that you cash doesn't count. I'd take the money.
The money counted. The money counted.
And all those games you watched,
Yeah.
you weren't watching real baseball games, huh?
I don't. I'm not excited to watch baseball. Then I did. I think they need to at least have some kind of clarification that this is the era they played in. I don't think that it's legitimate.
What do you think? How many home runs do you think Babe Ruth would have if he played in ballparks like today?
What kind of?
Gosh, who knows?
Okay, so then you can't.
But
then that's the thing.
how many pitchers pitched like they do today in his era? Not that many.
You can't.
I don't know how many. What kind of
you've
little?
read.
What kind of little
What kind of balls were they using? What kind
asterisks
of
or whatever do they have on Cy Young's 511 wins when
No,
teams carried only 3 pitchers and that's all you had?
Right.
And we talked about that.
Does that
we
get,
talked
or
about
does he hold the record for 511 wins?
He pitched those games. He wasn't on steroids. He pitched them.
He
won.
wasn't on
Oh, he wasn't
steroids.
on steroids. He pitched
So,
He wasn't
so as
on the
far as
juice.
qualifying things, it's only
It's only on
Steroids
steroids.
that-
Well,
we're
I
gonna
mean, Satchel
qualify.
Paige pitched, they say, in 2,500 games. They're not even. They don't even count because it was the Negro Leagues. How many games would he have won in the majors?
We'll never know.
We'll never know.
Well, the world will never know. It's like how
Right.
many licks does it take to get the center of a
Right.
Tootsie Roll Pop.
Tootsie Roll Pop. Right.
3. Always
I
3.
mean, I just don't think
'Cause
that.
then you buy
I
it.
don't think that if you took those drugs, I don't think the numbers reflect on how true your career would have been.
Well, if the pitchers were taking them, and they were.
Well, they were. I mean, it's obvious. Clemens.
All right,
took
so
it. I mean,
let me ask you this
it's
question.
obvious. Sure.
So now, since these 5 guys are all in their first or second year, 3 of the 5, do we have to put an asterisk by that you got to be big, strong, and 6'5" in order to count for home run hitter?
No, you don't be
Well, they
6'5".
all are.
Well, that's when all of a sudden people started doing heavy duty
Weightlifting.
How much weightlifting did you do when you played baseball?
None. If you they didn't want you to lift.
Wow,
Right.
the guys now they need asterisks. They do weightlifting.
They do. They
during the
lift
season.
weights.
Weightlifting's legitimate. That's a whole
Why?
different. It's because you can go out and lift
They were
weights.
told not
They
to
were
before.
We were told not to. We were told
Right.
you couldn't lift
Well, when I
weights.
played basketball, you were told the same thing.
Should
All right.
Gaylord Perry be kicked out of the Hall of Fame? He
was a
said,
cheater.
"Hey, I used to
He
spitball and
cheated. He
everything.
cheated.
Strikeouts
Should he have
don't
asked
count.
to
Let's
cheat?
take away his strikeouts.
None
We'll
of
go
those
back,
count.
look at each one on video, and if that strikeout pitch was a spitball, we deduct it off of his total strikeout number.
Well, I mean, that's not going to happen.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. It is what it is.
And
And the
it's not
numbers are
going
the
to happen.
numbers. But I can, as a fan, I can look at the game how I choose to look at the game, and I don't look at bonds as legitimate.
Well, but you can have your own number.
Oh, I'll say this. Baseball threw all those guys under the bus because if it had been for McGuire and Sosa taking that stuff, they would have saved the game. And Bud Selig, who should not be in the Hall of Fame, Bud Selig was the one
Rant of the day.
I'm telling you, don't get me started.
It's the same rant over and over.
It's the same one.
Bud
Bud
Selig.
Selig. He
You just have to say the one
loser.
word. He gets triggered by the word. He's like a
Right when he
millennial.
says Bud Selig.
Bud
We
Selig.
should always
Yeah,
just
Bud Selig.
Bud Selig.
You'll get me going. But they threw those guys under the bus.
What happened to the Seattle Pilots?
So, yeah, thank you very much. Don't get me started. Your phone's working.
Your phone's ringing. Bud Selig's calling.
Bud Selig right now. Don't get me started. But McGuire and Sosa saved the game of baseball. They were taking that jump.
And they're going to win.
And
And their numbers are going to count.
And their numbers
and
count.
Until,
I just prefer. I don't think Barry Bonds is the all-time home run record holder. I think I still say Henry Aaron is. And he's not 6'5".
So this is a Braves thing then.
No, It's just how I feel about the game.
Do you know the Braves
I'm
used
on
to
it,
be
too.
in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I know.
didn't move.
You know who's the owner of Milwaukee?
I
Bud
know.
Selig.
Bud Selig, I know.
You know,
Well, probably his dad was there.
You know, they used to be in Boston,
They
too.
in Boston.
Right?
They moved to Milwaukee. Right.
And then they moved south.
to Atlanta.
Yeah,
Right.
look, I'm sorry, Bob. You got to get over it, okay? You can write your own record book. I mean, it can be the Bob's record book.
We're baseball fans everywhere can do it.
But Major League Baseball records say he's not going to hold the record.
Right, he's not going to hold the record.
All right,
Exactly.
so let's don't say it's a record-setting
Career
performance.
or single season?
Either or.
Well, according to Eddie, it would be either or.
Major League Baseball. It's not.
He was
according
able
me.
to bring it all together again. It used to all be together. The single season record, the all-time home run record. This guy Babe Ruth is king, and then Roger Maris split it.
Right.
And then Barry Bonds was able. It's kind of
But Henry
uniting
Aaron.
the WBF and
Henry
the
Aaron.
IBF.
Wait. Henry Aaron was next, not
He
Barry
didn't.
Bonds.
He never had the single season.
Oh, of all time.
No,
all time,
bringing
sorry.
both belts, the IBF and the
Barry
WBC.
Bonds.
Barry Bonds has
Barry
done it.
Bonds was able to bring it
done it.
together after it had been taken away from Babe Ruth.
Yep.
So
Cassius Clay of home run hitters.
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
Well,
Any
were there
box
that
like
many belts back then? There was one.
Probably.
There's
I don't know.
three. But I mean, but you're or two. But
WWE.
But yeah, WWE. Was it clear? Well, it was Bud Selig.
There's
But
900 belts.
No, but look, I'm not going to take. But Bonds is Bonds, and what Bonds did was amazing. Don't get
What
me
Bonds
wrong.
did,
but-
you want to know, and this is
What?
where I've gone full circle. You know the injustice of it all is that Barry Bonds got blackballed, or else he'd have had 800 home
Completely.
runs.
Yeah.
He could have DH'd for a couple of
He
years,
could have, for
and
sure.
he was still hitting 30, 40 home runs a season.
I remember Bob Costas interviewing Willie Mays, who is Barry Bonds' godfather. And this is the year after Bonds was out of baseball. And Costas asked Mays, if you talk to Barry, well, do you think Barry would want to play? And Willie Mays said yes. But who's talking to him? Nobody was talking to him.
And that
He
was
got
blackballed.
That was terrible.
blackballed
It was
because
terrible.
No one would even.
But if Bonds had been a nice person, you get a lot of miles being nice. If Bonds had just been nice,
Was Selig
I think
a nice person?
he's
Is
a
that what?
jackass. Don't get me started.
Hey, look, it's not that. All I'm saying is, right now, the guys that are hitting home runs are 6'5", big behemoth guys.
they are.
Okay, how do you know? Can you sit here and look into that camera right now and definitively tell me that Aaron Judge never took an performance-enhancing substance?
I cannot do that. I'm not with Aaron Judge, and even if I was,
Can you tell me that any of these guys have never taken a performance-enhancing?
I'll tell you what I can
agent?
guarantee as far as the protein stuff and the built and the diets and everything. I think they're on a little better diet than Babe Ruth or Mickey Mantle were
probably,
back in their
I would
day.
say that.
Exactly.
So they're
now that
getting
the science
enhanced.
and the knowledge is
All right,
better.
so they are enhancing
I
their
don't know,
performance
I don't
through
know.
better chemistry.
I don't know if you can go that way with it.
They are.
I don't know.
It's not illegal.
It's not illegal.
But guess what?
But you're using.
Guess what? Guess what?
There was steroids.
Neither were steroids
I
when they
know.
were taking them.
But there's a difference between right and wrong. And
Neither
doing something
were
the right way and the
steroids.
wrong way, and you know the difference.
According to baseball, steroids were not illegal when they were taking them.
Legality, not illegality. Home runs, not
Yes
home
or
runs.
no, Bob?
Let's erase the record.
You're
Since
right.
1975,
You're right. They were not illegal.
none of these records offensively mean anything anyway because the American League hasn't played real baseball at all. So
come on.
now
We're
all of a
back to
sudden,
that again?
you sit there.
We
No,
said
I'm
this
just
at
sitting
the
there telling you,
beginning of the year.
things change. My whole point,
73,
things
73,
change.
73.
The game evolves.
Right, it does.
But the numbers and the records stand forever, and when one breaks a record,
it breaks it.
it's a new record and it's broken.
You just got to live
Hey,
with
that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us.
Man, it goes by so fast.
It probably doesn't when they're
I want
watching
some
it
more
at home.
time to watch about Bud Selig. I mean, come on, hook me up.
Maybe next week.
Yeah,
we'll
next
get
week.
another
Okay,
rant.
good.
He's not an owner anymore, is he? He's totally
No,
retired.
you
You guys get a chance to play ball this week. If not, watch some on TV. We'll see you.